we go. We are in the game. How you doing, friends? Yep, it's Ernie with the Trader of Futures here for another spectacular, I was going to say Bitcoin show, because that sounds so good. Bitcoin show. No, this is the Trader of Futures volume profile. That doesn't sound so hot. Another spectacular volume profile show. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. Needs something better. We are going to smash these markets. Nothing but unbelievable trades. I'm going to make $5,000 in 2 hours. No, make that 15 minutes. Count on it every day. That's why you should watch this show, because every time you come here, you're a winner. I win every day. That's what I hear from like Warrior Trading and Jason Bonds, and there's a whole bunch of them that are out there. They win every day, thousands and thousands of dollars. How I made $7,242.39 in 12 minutes. That Warrior Trading guy, man, he is something else. What's something else is how people can actually believe his bullshit. And they'll defend him to the ends. And Jason Bonds, oh my God. Ultimate scammer. He's got the YouTube ads all over the place. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you people? What's wrong with you? Don't you know when you're being scammed? Well, I promise nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'll show you some techniques, impart some wisdom, hopefully make you laugh. And that's about it. In the meantime, my Bitcoin calls have been spot on. Although we're hanging on the edge here. We're waiting to just fall over the cliff. It's going to happen. It will happen. The markets are struggling right now because we're butting up against a lot of... we found an area of value is what it is. The markets have regained or reattained or climbed back into or got back into the cockpit of value. And how do we know that there's value in the market right now? Because the market has demonstrated that value by hanging out there for a long time. And that's what I'm talking about, this high value node that you see right there. Right there. See that node goes... It's kind of hard doing that. Right there. Value. Value. You can see that so plain with volume profile. It illustrates where the market finds value. And once you know that there's value there, you know that that's where the market wants to go. Where there's no value, that's the opposite of that big thing coming out. That's all the little wells in there. The little wells. Over here, you see that that little well right there. Right there. And the one below it, right there. And then further up here, there's more of these little wells. Those little wells. The market doesn't want to be there. Don't know why, don't care. But for some reason, there's a mass psychosis that says, I don't want to be there. I want to be on top of the mountain. I don't want to be in the valley. I don't want to be in the crack of the ass of the market. The ass crack. That's going to be my new name for the wells. The ass cracks. Who wants to hang out in the ass crack? Nobody. That's why we don't go there. Price starts going there, we say, get the fuck out of here. I want to be on top of the mountain. I want to be on top of the little titties. That's where I want to be. That's your choice. Titties or ass crack? It's not a hard choice. All right, yeah, so this might be a little bit of a sexist program, but who the fuck cares? We're dealing in reality here. I need to illustrate it. I need to make it visceral. Feel it. Do I want to stand on top of titties? Or do I want to have my nose in an ass crack? That's trading right there. I hope my wife doesn't come down. So, yesterday I missed yesterday's show, but that's because I had other things to attend to. I do have other businesses going on. My partner calls me up. We start talking, planning, scheming, trying to raise some money, trying to raise a lot of money. Hey, you know somebody that has about $1 million? We need to start off with $1 million. I need another $2 million after that for this business. Well, for this leg of this business. So if you know anybody that's, let's say, politically minded, that has $1 million, that wants to really screw things up, have them call me. Politically and financially minded. Let me just say that. Yep, we got some goings on in this other business. And we need money. Now. No time like the present. Titties or ass crack? I guess it depends on whose ass crack it is, right? Imagine, that sweaty plumber comes over ass crack, right? And then for titties, like, let's see, we got to find some good titties. Instagram, there's always some good titties. Oh, yeah. Well, you can't see that. My head's in the way. Like that. That's where we want to be. That's where we want to be. Let's see here. Adele, she gets around. Oh, what's this? Bally song? That's some good flipping there, man. Yeah, I'm not that good. I can't do shit. Ooh. Germination. Knives. Cute kid. Now there, that says it all right there. From Roger Stone. I don't watch CNN for the same reason I don't eat out of the toilet. Bitcoin. I don't trade Bitcoin for the same reason I don't watch CNN. Yeah, we're going to be going down. See, right now we've developed a little bit of a little titty here on the volume profile, and so we're comfortable. But there's one big mother ass crack down here, and if we fall through there, man, it's going to be one slippery ass crack. And we won't find another titty until we get down to about, I don't know, 2,400. Yeah, it's going to be quite a slide. It's going to be an ass crack after some heavy-duty Mexican food eaten. All right, let's see what people have to say. When moon, says Surf and Goat. We're not mooning in any of the markets anytime soon. Let me tell you that. We're not mooning in Bitcoin for a long, long time. Long time. Years. At least. I'd say I'm going to give it 2 years. Robert Leonardo says volume is low, and this is true. Volume is low. Well, volume, especially in Bitcoin, is friggin' low. As low goes. Volatility is low. Volatility is dropping in the market and in Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's take a look at volatility. What's the best way to look at volatility? The best way is to look at the VIX. So we'll look at VIX futures. How's that? Only daily, weekly, monthly intervals are supported for this symbol or exchange. Really? You will be automatically switched to a daily interval. Intervals are not available because of exchange policies. That's bullshit. I pay money for this feed. Fuck. All right. So here we are. We're looking at the VIX. What is the VIX? Those are the VX, the VIX futures. They're the futures on the VIX index. The VIX index is sort of a mathematical computation of the puts that are in the S&P market. A lot of people call it the fear index. So in other words, the more puts there are, the higher the VIX goes. The more puts there are, the more people that are betting the market's going to go down. The more that translates directly into, oh, down, I scared. That translates into fear. Otherwise, that's why they call it the VIX is the fear index. And look at that little titty right down there. Right around 14. We want to be at 14. We don't want to be up here where we're at now. We're up here temporarily. We want to get out of this ass crack and get onto the titty. And you can see, going way back. Love you long time. We've been wanting to stay on that area for a long time. We want to regain that titty. That's where the market wants to be. The thing is, when we're low volatility, it's like easy sailing. Everyone's like copacetic, man. Like it's like totally rad, dude. And we want to hang out there for a long time because going up, hanging out, moving on, chilling. That's all cool. Market tends to go up in those scenarios. You know, little friction, things are good. Market starts getting a little hectic, like you saw here in the past few months. The VIX rises, people are betting on, the dark side. They put more puts on, the VIX goes up. Now, for a trader, they're in a quandary because, quite frankly, the trader doesn't, you would think, oh, the trader must love the titty. No. The trader loves the dark side of the titty. Because the dark side of the titty means that there's going to be a little bit more volatility, a little bit more range in the market, and that means more opportunity. There's always, when you're on top of the titty, there's not that much opportunity. The opportunity is getting to the top of the titty. How you doing, Bob? From Toronto. All eyes, haven't seen you for a while. How's it hanging? Like my buds dying at the moment? No, our buds are doing pretty darn good. Let's see. Let me take Is there an easy way to show the buds? No. See, we can move over and we can look over here. I wonder if I can do that. See, there's... Let's see if we can get some bud action. No buds, it's all veg right now. Just a little bit. There's not much going on in there. Most of the action's over here. We just had a harvest a little while ago. Got another tent back there. That's got more action going on there. That's going to be harvested pretty soon. But anyways, volatility still dropping. Heading for the promised land. On top of Milk Mountain. Right there. See? We get there. Right here is a good place to be. There's good trading going on here. As we start getting down here, if we fall below that little titty, that's the dark side of tittydom. You know, that's when things start getting really, really slow and sluggish and not much going on. Dr. Zaya says, hello, fellow Torontonians. Is that how you say it? A home of socialism? Yeah, what the fuck, man? You got to get rid of your PM there. He's like the ultimate cuck. Cuck soy boy socialist. And I know you Torontonians are much tougher than that. All I says, wow, in-depth analysis on trading using titties as an analogy. Yeah, titties and ass cracks. Bharadwaj Ralabandi. I hope I said that correct. Any chance of a Bitcoin ETF approval this year? No. No fucking chance at all. None, zip, nada. Forget about it. The SEC has absolutely no desire, right? You know, the FBI is still mired up to their friggin' eyeballs in casework, closing down these fraudsters. There's still lots of fraud out there. They have yet to recognize any of these asswipes as securities. So it's going to be a while. And in that environment, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever for the SEC to take on that headache. It's just not there. Yeah, so we got about 5 plants going on in this tent. I'd say about another 5. The other 5 over there, they're probably... Let me just check. Hold on. Be right back. Yeah, just starting up some clones over there. We had a big harvest not too long ago. And mostly Goliath. Some other things. Came out really good. Smelly. Whew. Oh, thanks, Dr. Zayas. If he sees Trudeau, he'll punch him in the face. Thank you. He needs it. He needs to check out, man. That guy, what a fucking loser. Have you ever watched him, like, sitting around with other leaders, you know? Like, you see Trump there, man-spreading, and then you'll see the prime minister, he's man-spreading, and even the Chinese Z, he's man-spreading. And then there's Trudeau. He's got his legs crossed, and then at an angle like a queen bee. Oh my God! What a fucking fairy he is! God. Gregory Olszewski. That's a cool name. Hey Ernie from New York City. Finally warmed up here. You predict any surprise turmoil from SOTU tonight? Oh, from the State of the Union. Well, one thing's for sure. Where in the world is Ruth Bader Ginsburg? They say that she showed up at this play that was done in her honor. It was supposed to be, extolling her life and everything. And they say that she showed up. But I saw the video, I saw the pictures. She was not there. WAPO, the Washington Post, claims that she showed up. So there's this liberal myth that she's still around, that she's vital and vibrant. It's all bullshit. She's not going to be at the State of the Union either. I think she's dead. Where in the world is Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Seth Holloway, he says, wouldn't a commodity-based crypto be something that could actually have value? Well, why bother? The commodities already have value. We have futures. What the fuck do we need with a crypto to represent a commodity? Seriously, why? I just don't understand. I mean, we have the CME handling the futures market. It works fantastic. It's the biggest market in the world. $41 trillion going through the CME. What the fuck do we need cryptos for? I just don't get it. It doesn't add any value. Of course, you're going to get all the Bitcoin and crypto enthusiasts that will tell me about censorship, the lack of censorship. Bob asks, can you go over some of the potential future entries on some Canadian cannabis stocks? Nah. It's not time. It's just not time. All I says, it blew my mind when I found out Nancy Pelosi was just about 80 years old. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. She's also worth a shitload of money, along with Maxine Waters. Big time. They go into Congress worth nothing. Nothing. They don't work at anything but Congress, and they come out worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That should really piss you off. The dollar was superior when it was backed by gold. Yeah, I agree with that. But it really doesn't matter. We just keep on pumping out the money, keep on expanding the economy, keep it, as long as we keep the debt to the GDP ratio relatively the same, we'll be okay. If it gets out of hand and it's getting, it's been getting pretty tough lately, we keep that under check. We keep capitalism going and hot. We don't become cucks and soy boys like the left wants us to be. We keep expanding the GDP, keep regulation down, keep people employed, keep pumping it up. We'll be fine. More man-spreading. Even the broads, they can do the man-spreading too. How you doing, Burbot? G'day, how are you? You too. Bitcoin's still going down. Well, it's been going kind of sideways, but it's prepping to go down. Ernie, go over some pairs. How about we do this? Let's take a look at the overall market first, then we'll work our way down. So here we are. ES, everyone wants to know, are we going to hit new highs? New highs would be what we saw back in October, early October. That's what we're seeing right up here. right there. All right. We've dropped down into this consolidation zone. We're trying our best to come back up here. I think we're going to hang out here in this consolidation zone for a little bit. Maybe create an inverse head and shoulder. Who the hell knows? But yeah, we're on this little titty mountain here. It's going to take a little bit to go up to the next level, but I think we will. It's going to take some time to break this level of 28.16. I think what's going to happen is we're going to start building some real value here. And then once we build that value, that'll be a great launching point to get up and then make new highs. But I don't think that's going to happen until the spring. Barring anything spectacular happening on the geopolitical front, which can always happen. Same deal for the Dow, same deal for the Russell, same deal for the S&P 400 mid caps, small caps. Right now, we could take a look at the difference between the Dow and the S&P, which is this guy here, lower middle. Let's just make that a little bit bigger and just check that out and see what the trend is. So we got the daily here. Let's go to the weekly. All right, so there's the weekly, going back all the way to 2017. So we can see here that the long caps, the Dow, have been outperforming the mid caps or the big caps. The 30 biggest industrials. So the bigger companies have been outperforming the smaller companies for a while here, until we get to this little dipsy-do here in the beginning of the year, the end of last year, the beginning of this year. And I think what we need is we're going to see a resurgence here, and we're just about building up to that right now. All right, consolidating, and then we're going to take off. Go back to energy. Let's take a look at energy. Here's oil. I see oil sitting inside this zone that I've outlined here. I think this is where we're going to hang out with oil for a long time. We're going to build a lot of value down here. There was a lot built up here for a while. All right. Trump recognized that we needed to bring this down because it was acting like a tax. He did this in response, I believe, to what I mean that Trump did this. He basically ordered our productive capacity to increase dramatically on the energy front. And that's why right now we are a net exporter of oil. We are energy independent. Energy independent. So right now we're sitting in the crack here. We're building up some titties. We're going to build up some big titties here. And while we're sitting in the range between 44 and 54 with crude oil, that's going to give the rest of the country basically like a tax cut, an infusion of cash. Prices at the pump will stay low. That'll allow us to take more of our hard-earned cash with the continuing deregulation, because you know that rule of one new thing of regulation has to remove two existing pieces of regulation. That still exists. That's really helping. The unemployment rate has been going down. The participation rate is going up. That's huge. When you have both of those happening at the same time, you don't get it. That is powerful. Hugely powerful. And of course, the press isn't reporting on it at all. They are just downing this market. You get guys like Swalwell, man, that fucking Congress douchebag. He can't say a good thing at all about this economy. He says, oh, no, the fact that, GDP is up, unemployment is down, that's really bad. What fucking planet is he on? More people are going to work, higher wages, better jobs. People that were sitting on the sidelines for 8 years through Obama are finally coming back. There are more jobs than there are people. And speaking of jobs, one way that I like to look at the crypto market and where it is by going to something like Simply Hired or Indeed. Let's go to Indeed. It's an online job market. And one of the easiest ways here is to, well, we'll take a look at like blockchain, right? We'll look for blockchain, see how many new jobs there are in blockchain in the Boston area. Boston, as you know, is very, very similar to Silicon Valley. Not quite as big, but it is pretty damn big. The Boston marketplace is one of the hubs of technology in the world. And if you don't know much about it, I've lived in this area all my life. I know it intimately. I've also been out in Silicon Valley. Boston is hot. All right. I would say it's about 2/3 the size of Silicon Valley, but it doesn't get the same kind of notoriety. So it's a good place. We'll take a look. We can look at San Francisco too. So you're going to see similar numbers. But when you start looking at blockchain and seeing, you know, what new jobs there are out there, there's not much going on at all. What the fuck? Oh, we don't want to be Indeed. Let's go to Simply Hired. Simply Hired gives us better statistics. It's the same company. They've changed things around. I don't like this. They used to have good statistics right up front. Well, I guess that's the story. There's just not much going on in blockchain. I mean, within 50 miles of Boston, these are the new jobs? What the fuck? All right, well, let's take a look at another technology like Java. All right. There you go. Okay, look, blockchain. All right. All right, there we go. Blockchain. Full-time jobs, 109. That's what you see down here in the lower left. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Full-time jobs, 109 for blockchain. Now let's take a look at Java, which Java is the de facto enterprise development platform, and that will give you a good idea in terms of you know, corporate investment into new systems. All right, we saw what, 100 jobs for blockchain? What do we see here? 3,000 jobs! 30 times. All right? In other words, blockchain ain't shit. It is worse than a plumber's ass crack. A sweaty plumber's ass crack. There's nobody investing in blockchain. Nobody! I mean, I don't know how to give you a better illustration than this. Nobody is investing in blockchain. They're saying, fuck that. Bullshit technology, bullshit for this economy, no real return on investment, no real opportunity. Blockchain is dead, at least temporarily, or for the time being, unless somebody, you know, miraculously comes up with some kind of killer app. But right now, it is bullshit. There is the evidence. I mean, what else do I got to show you? That is like the leading indicator. How many jobs are there? If there are no fucking jobs, there's no fucking technology. So that's what we had. We had 100 full-time jobs for blockchain, 3,000. And Java is only part of the technology industry. It's just illustrative, you know? I could start going on and start looking at C++, managerial, sales jobs. You go on and on and on. But that's a good direct comparison. Nothing. All Eyes wants to know if I personally looked into the long-term forecast, 5 to 10 years on the price of gold. What are your thoughts? I think it's going to keep up with inflation and the general market. It's going to hold its value compared to the GDP. That's in the long term. It'll have its fluctuations, but it will always return to the mean. So as the market goes up, gold and silver will go up commensurate. What do you think about the YM versus ES pair, or maybe the SI versus G? Well, as I said, I think that big caps are going to lead the way, at least for now. They're both going up, but big caps are slightly ahead of mid caps. Small caps, that might be a different story. I think that they're going to fluctuate. They're going to go through this sort of oscillating thing. Sometimes they'll lead, sometimes there'll be money rotation. And there's a little bit of rotation right now into, the big to medium caps from the ultra big companies. They're kind of taking a little bit of a back seat right now. When you say we start building real value, what are you meaning? In terms of that level, that's where the market is finding that is fair value in the market. It's relative worth. Right? We build value in a particular area, and then we build on that. We maybe move up and then build more value and hang out there. This is where the market feels that they found, I should say, they build value and then they settle on an area where they feel that it's fair value. Hey, Ernie, do you believe the debt is in a bubble? If so, how do we get out of it? Yeah, I believe it's always in a bubble. It's always in a cyclical bubble. And we just got out of a huge one, obviously, in 2008. Right now, as long as we can keep the GDP ahead of debt, we'll be okay. As long as we can keep the friggin' socialists out of the economy and trying to drag it down and tax the hell out of everybody, then the economy will continue to expand. But we face an existential threat from these socialist bastards. The left has infiltrated the Democrat Party. They are moving it way to the left. And they are danger. They are a huge danger. They are unwilling to compromise. They are unwilling to negotiate. They just want you to be subservient to them. And when you have a case like that, that leads to nothing. If you cannot negotiate with somebody, it eventually leads to one thing, and that's civil war. And that's what I'm really concerned about that. So we must squash the fucking socialists now. Must. OPEC decides on energy prices, not Trump. That's bullshit, Alex. That is such fucking bullshit. You know nothing about energy. We control them. They're wrapped around our little fingers. And if you think it's otherwise, then you're just not in touch with the world. Nathan says he likes the analogies, but maybe that's the little perv in me. What are you saying about me, man? A blockchain is infant in comparison to Java, so let's be real. Yeah, but, it is so small. I thought this was going to be the next thing, man. Everyone's talking about this being the next thing. You hear about it enough on TV and on the shill networks, CNBC, Bloomberg, and all the major networks, which are also, by the way, the propaganda arms of the left, the Democrat Party. They really think that this is it. This is their idea of control. It ain't going anywhere. Forget about it being an infant technology. I've seen other technologies that have taken off way faster. been around for 10 years. There's been a lot of brain power going into crypto, and it's gone nowhere. As a matter of fact, it's starting to retract. So don't give me this infant technology bullshit. Alex, you don't have to lecture me in Java. I am the Java chief. I was a chief architect with Sun. You're not talking to somebody who doesn't know about Java. You're talking about somebody who is at the pinnacle of technology for many years. I know all about it. I know the words that I'm using. I'm using it as a comparison. And it's a very valid comparison. So, fuck off. With that outlook with gold, do you see a scenario where it breaks free from growing with the GDP and skyrockets in any case scenario? And I assume you see silver following accordingly. In a way, but silver obviously has a greater industrial component than gold. So silver will follow more along with the economy. Gold is still the de facto medium that we transact in across countries. So gold will be more tied to inflationary type of things. So it will fluctuate, at least part of it. So its industrial vector is about 1/10 that of silver. I think silver is probably a better bailiwick. However, silver has also been suppressed quite a bit lately. I don't think that that's going to happen too much longer. Antifa, communist. Yes, socialist equals communist. What is the percentage of Bitcoin move to the downside after volume stagnation? What is the percentage of Bitcoin move to the downside after volume? I don't know what that means. It's going down because there are fewer people, there are fewer fools to participate in it. Most of the fools got in. Some of them got stuck there. They're still in there. And then the vast majority of them got out. And now they've smartened up a bit, and they know not to get into it again. At least not for now. It's a piss-poor comparison. No, it's not a piss-poor comparison, Alex. How can you be so fucking idiot? You're just a fucking idiot. It is a perfect comparison. I'm sorry. Do I think gold will always be the medium of exchange? Probably in our lifetimes. But will it always be? It's hard to say always. Right now, I can't see of anything that might take over. There's no other... I mean, it's certainly not going to be diamonds. They're too subjective. Possibly... There could be new, maybe the platinum group metals, but they've come out of favor, especially since we're starting to move more towards electric vehicles. It would have to be a commodity. If there was another commodity, maybe. Now, this is a long shot. Maybe the cannabis industry in some way. Maybe cannabis. But that doesn't make any sense either because it's such a renewable resource. It has to have some level of scarcity. And so I can't really think. Something electronic doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense at all. No matter how you slice it, everything comes down to something that you can actually hold. Nathan wants to know what my thoughts on Tyler Jenks and his hyperwave. He seems like a sincere guy, seems like an okay guy. Hyperwave is nothing more than an analogy that basically describes a market bubble. There's nothing new other than the fact that he calls it hyperwave. All right? There are bubbles and bubbles are what would be a good way to put it? They come in all different sizes, you know? I mean, anyways, I'm having a brain fart here. Bubbles are fractal. In other words, you can have small bubbles in smaller markets, big bubbles in bigger markets, encompassing bubbles across markets. So it's nothing more than a pattern of how these things evolve and then dissipate. And so calling it hyperwave, you know, look, if he can make hay while he calls it hyperwave, good for him. But there's nothing new about what Tyler Jenks is doing. Nothing. Any new developments in the American sector for cannabis going on? That is slowly improving. Each election cycle, we have more states that are coming online, approving either medical or recreational marijuana. The DEA is loosening their grip. We're getting more enlightened viewpoints from our Attorney General with Barr going in there, and also with Whitaker there now. I think Trump is open to medical marijuana, so I see a countrywide medical marijuana acceptance coming soon. We already have a majority of states that either have medical and or recreational laws on the books. So we just had the Farm Bill passed. That's another huge advance. Now that enables farmers now to start actively growing hemp and producing CBDs. That also means that we're going to have more research done on the medical area, food, industrial. So all of this is starting to go. Ernie, do you watch the Joe Rogan podcast? No longer, because Joe Rogan is a sellout to the deep state, to the dark side. I saw, yeah, Joe Rogan, I used to like his shit, but no longer. I can no longer support Joe Rogan. I saw yesterday that Pennsylvania is looking at recreational cannabis bill. Fingers crossed. Yep, I can see that. What or who would potentially be a big player in cannabis in America when it's all a go? Altria, maybe? That's the old R.J. Reynolds. But that's on the recreational side. There's also going to be others that are going to pop up. It's just going to explode, is my view. But I think Altria is probably a good bet, at least for now. Bitcoin has very good arguments for store of value by Murad Mamabadov. What is it about Bitcoin that leads you to believe it will never succeed? I didn't say it will never succeed. And sure, you can listen to one of these guys and they can make sense, but that's within their little myopic world. I have yet to see any real value in a crypto. Show me how it's a store of value. I don't get it. I just don't. Where is the value? In order to be a store of value, you need to have alternative uses. What are the alternative uses of ones and zeros? Zippo. The whole thing on Joe Rogan is a whole different topic, but I'll talk about it sometime. Not now, though. He is a political sellout. He is no longer with the people. He is with the dark side. He is with the globalists. It's only a matter of time, I guess. Robert Leonardo says he just got a medical license. I don't bother with the licenses. My daughter has one, but she's also in the industry. But I don't go to dispensaries. I can grow it myself, and I'm perfectly legal in doing that. Your title says recession fear is gone. Can you explain what you mean? And Joe is a loser. Recession fears gone. Where? Oh. Market's on fire. Recession fears gone. I didn't even realize that that was my title. I didn't change it yet. Because everyone was talking recession. Not everyone, but there was this growing sentiment of recession. And I personally believe that that was more of a political movement. That is half the country trying to talk down this economy for the purpose of trying to make Trump look bad. They do not want to give him any credit for anything that he's done. As a matter of fact, they want to take away. You've probably seen this other narrative going around saying that he's the laziest president ever, when in fact it's exactly the opposite. He's perhaps the most prolific and busiest and hard-working president of all time. So, yeah, they're doing everything that they can to talk this economy down, talk the success that we've had down, everything. They're just downers. And what I'm saying is that the American people are waking up to this. And overall, I think that people realize that we're in a really good spot right now. No, Joe Rogan has sold out to the evil corporate globalists. That's what he's done. But we can get into it deeper later. Joe for sure has been in contact with the CIA or the globalists, yes. And he's pushing their agenda, yes. And he's built a platform with wide views and then got compromised, yes. Yes. All true, all lies. Well, his character has gone downhill dramatically. Do you ever have an argument which isn't deep state or conspiracy? So are you saying that I should deny that there's a deep state? And it's not conspiracy when it's true. And just because something is labeled a conspiracy doesn't mean that it's not true. A conspiracy simply means that there is a group of people that are conspiring against another group of people, and that's exactly what's happening right now. We're going through what is, by all accounts, a soft coup, which is going to be exposed, trying to oust the president. You don't see that as a conspiracy, and just because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's not true. It is fucking true. And notice I didn't put theory on the end of it. It's not a theory. It is fact. All right. Anyways, we're getting moving on to about an hour into this program. And so you know what that means? That means it's now time for you to go down and hit that like button. Right now, go down, hit the like button, click the little bell so the next time I come on, you'll know. I'm going to start producing some shorter videos that I'm going to put out that won't be live streams, but I'm going to continue with the live stream. Yeah, Chris, exactly. It sickens me as well that the truth is called a conspiracy. That is the left trying to downplay what is actually happening, trying to cover their malfeasance. Notice I keep on saying the left and not the liberals, because there is a distinct difference. What used to be the liberals, or the classical liberal way of thinking, like the John F. K. liberals, they are now the right. They are now the right. They are now considered the neo-Nazis. Can you imagine that? It's unfucking believable. All right. That's all I've got to say. Oh, by the way, there will be another volume profile course. We had our volume profile course this Saturday. It went fantastically. We had 11 people in that class. That's right at the max where I like it. I'm going to set up another one for this coming weekend. So if you're interested in taking the volume profile course, go take a look at traderfutures.com. Click on the volume profile ad there in the sidebar and check out the reviews. All 5-star reviews. I have nothing but 5-star reviews, and that's because it is eye-opening. You would be able to determine market structure, where's the best place to get in and out of trades, understand exactly how or the best probability of the way price will move across that structure. It will completely open your eyes. Anyways, there will be a class, hopefully this Saturday. If not, it'll be the following Saturday. But I am taking students right now. I don't want to have more than 10 people in the class. And although I had 11, I knew that one of them wasn't going to show up. So that worked out okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you muchly. And we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.